clarify. So talking about mind control, voice to the skull, and this is this. Oh, it's insane. What, you know, this is actually part of. I believe, and that's what I'm going to broach to everybody. You know, anti-cheating technologies, the security systems of the Las Vegas casinos. That's how they prevent another 1 October from happening. Is, you know, they can just sense from micro expressions, from the heat of someone's body. That stuff it can sense. You know, they reported this kind of stuff. So what would that be for? Was someone about to commit an act of violence? There was someone going in there with violent intentions, and it can see that there's a rifle in the bag, and just from the quality of someone's motions, if there's someone that's going to go in there and do something even with their hands, that isn't going to be good for the guests and something they don't want to see. So they can do kind of like Minority Report, prevent it from happening. That's a beautiful thing when you think about it, because there's always been getting arrested. They're made schizophrenic because they take medications in a lot of cases, or they've been treated by a psychologist their entire life. They're looking for the language to say, I want to speed up, I want to be faster. And all they can do is be slow because they are a disintegrated puzzle piece. What would this technology, since it can be broadly applied, since much like, you know, the corporate media, they can't report anything in reality. That's why I don't believe anything I see in the news anymore. So corporations help corporations. Corporations are people. You're not one of them. You're not important enough to be able to report the truth. So we're going to have news judgment guided by, you know, corporate AI that trumps up news stories that have to do with helping companies, all advertisement for companies, people in the club. What would this technology be used for, since it can be run on 5G cell phone towers and it can target anybody? Well, I'm going to talk about Michael Bernard Beckwith. Tony Robbins does it sometimes, and he puts people in a trance, a very beautiful trance, and this is just him talking about investing in financial, but yeah, he makes it a very beautiful thing. But Michael Bernard Beckwith up in LA at the Saban Theater for a little while. I don't know where he's at now, but he's in Beverly Hills. I was with him at Agape International Spiritual Center since he was in Culver City there by the Sony Picture Studios. And let's put it this way, what he does is disable all of reality, and that's like an induction. And then he goes for the jugular and returns you to your infancy and says something like, imagine being whispered in your ears, into your infant ears, that, you know, all your needs are met, everything's taken care of, like a trust fund baby, like you're Donald Trump, and your mom is, you know, making sure your cerebral palsy isn't going to impact your life, and dad has $300 million in the mid-20th century. If you want to raise your children in a delusion covenant, which I believe in, since we know enough about Donald Trump to allow your son to be Donald Trump, or for your son to be Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump and you to be Donald Trump, and you protect them from medications and you take them to a place where you can replicate the spiritual, rich family spirituality, so they can have the experience of being these incredible elite people, and it actually begins to suck that money from everyone around them so that their bank accounts can match their identities that you give them. They may have to resort to taking their money away, sucking everything away, and deprogramming their identities, because it really does make your head shine brighter.